are not live. We are live. Look at that. We are live on the SideQuest Live Friday edition. I didn't really have a name for this episode. So whatever. I mean, we'll figure something out, I guess. Who knows? I'm Dolly Domofsky on the SideQuest. SideQuesting's regularly scheduled video game podcast, and that's regularly scheduled anywhere from Wednesday to Saturday. Just so happens to be on a Friday today. And joining me, the one, the only JJ.
It is JJ. Oh, hey!
Oh, and perfect timing, and also Zach. How's it going, Quest?
Oh, yeah.
Are you muted? Zach? Quest? Mr. Quest? I hear something over there. Anyways, hi everybody. Welcome to the SideQuest. Oh, and he's gone. I'm sure he'll be joining us again in a second here. It's great to have everybody with us this evening. Don't mind me. I'm literally just tweeting out that we've started our show. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun night. JJ, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah,
good. That's it. Just simple. I'm doing great.
I'm very tired, but
okay, yeah.
But if you take that part away, I'm fine. So
I think we're at that point where we're all kind of tired in weird ways and for different reasons. And
I can hear you now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you should have plugged your headset in. That would have helped. We're all tired for different reasons, whether it's work or just life in general, but here we are. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some sleep. I definitely got. I think I looked at my work schedule and I have like 9 or 10 days off in a row because of where the holidays kind of fall this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, although as you can see, I'm already yawning as I get everybody else to yawn. Oh goodness.
I'm not yawning.
Oh yeah, don't. Hey, how's it going, man? How's it going, Quest?
Pretty good. Don't have any complaints. Just watching after a dog.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's the pupper doing?
He's just sitting there staring at the wall.
Just stoned out of its mind.
That is what I would do too. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, I had to take his cone off before to get a drink of water, and then I had to put it back on. He started acting up.
He immediately started acting like he's like, well, the cone wasn't there for any particular reason. So.
Yeah.
Well, good. How's the weather by you guys? Is it wintry yet?
Yeah.
Neither of you guys really have that kind of the typical winter weather that I have up here in Michigan.
No.
It's been freezing down here though. It's
really?
It's like 30. Yeah, it's 30.
Yeah, it will be incredibly cold, but we'll get if we get snow at all, it'll be like 2 or 3 days of snow, and then just that's it. It's done.
Okay. Yeah, it's been like that for us too over the last 2-3 years. Really weird. It's like it's getting warmer and warmer during the winters. I have no idea why. Yeah. The one thing that I have noticed that's been hitting me hard is that since that time change, fuck that time change. I think I posted it. I posted it in Facebook. But man, 5:30, which is typically when I'm done with my workday, or very close to being done with my workday, feels like midnight. Because it's dark outside.
Yeah. And I go to work and it's dark out. I come home and it's dark out. It's I miss the entirety of the sun every day I work, and it's miserable.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It really does affect you, and it tires you out. So
yeah.
Yep. Well, it's good to have you guys here. We're going to talk about video games and some video game news, and maybe we can throw a couple predictions out for the Game Awards, the Game Awards. Let's get into stuff we've been playing. I want to start with you, JJ. What have you been playing, my friend?
Call of Duty. COD Blops, Cold War, whatever it is. I got that.
How is Mr. Reagan doing these days?
Looking pretty good. I mean, it is 80s Reagan, and he's just out there doing his thing. Gorbachev looking great.
How is that's one thing I wanted to ask. How's the Uncanny Valley for this? Because now you're dealing with people that you actually know. Right?
Yeah, they kind of done Call of Duty's visual style is almost caricatures where everyone doesn't look exactly human. They look like they're animated in a little bit. So Reagan looks like an idealized artist's rendition of Reagan and Gorbachev and guys like that. So
the Oval Office portrait of Reagan is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I like the way they use the DualSense controller in that game.
Okay.
It's really neat. Like, so you know how it is. You hold the left trigger down and you pull it for your iron sights or whatever. Depending on the gun you have, the heavier it is, the more resistance there is when you're lifting it up, which is kind of cool. And and the right trigger is like there's a physical click to like you're pulling a trigger, kind of thing too. So
nice.
It's really nice sort of implementation of the. You can always tell with this game is that they want to be a different game than they are sometimes. Like they start introducing I've just got to a point where it became, because I haven't played that much, but in the campaign I just got to the point where it became Hitman inexplicably. Like you're actually like trying to like you have to get a bunker key and you need to figure out a way to do it, and they give you options. It's like becomes freeform on how you can frame the guy, you can poison him, you can steal one and reprogram a different key, and you just kind of go about it however you want. And you're killing people and hiding their bodies in lockers and stuff. It's like they really want to make a game other than what they have to make with Call of Duty these days, it feels like. And when you boot up those games, there's like 5 or 6 different studios with their fingers in this pot. So.
You're like, Raven and Treyarch is in this one, like and Infinity Ward, and how did
we got with like Beanox or whatever.
Beanox, how is 2K is working on this one bizarrely.
So I mean, I just like playing through those. It's like there's inherently never anything wrong with the games other than like the sort of gross rewriting of American history at times to
that's exactly what happened with Infinite Warfare. I mean, I knew in the future, I mean, this is exactly, they were rewriting the future. But yeah, I mean, Zach, you played that on PC.
Yes.
And JJ, you've been playing it on PS5. Yeah.
I haven't played any multiplayer, but I have played a lot of the zombies mode. The zombies mode's really good. And it's you've got your typical kind of zombie stuff, and then you got like some other little match type options in there, and you have that weird arcade mode that's like an isometric shooter that's really fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's called, what was it, Dead Ops Arcade. It's neat. It's a top-down shooter, that twin stick shooter, of course, with Call of Duty engine. I like that. I had a hell of a time getting that game installed. That was a fucking nightmare and a half. Getting that game installed because I got the disc version, and so when you put it in, they ask you right away, well, which one would you like us to prioritize? You want the multiplayer, zombies, or Dead Ops Arcade?
It's a very PC way of doing things, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I was like, well, do zombies because the multiplayer isn't really my, bread and butter in that game. So do the zombies first. And so it did all of that, and you have to then like download an update to get any of that, and that's like 56 gigs by itself. Wow. And then the campaign you have to download separately in 3 separate parts.
Really?
And like the first 2 are like 30 gigs, and the second one is like 18 gigs. So it's like
it's only 5 hours long. So,
so it's just this big massive thing. And so it finished downloading, and I was playing zombies. I went out of the game for a little bit to play something like more Astrobot or something, but I came back in and it was telling me to copy the game. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean copy the game? I've just spent like a day and a half copying this game. What do you mean copy the game?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't let me boot it, and there was nothing I could do to get it to start working. And I go in there, and all of the like campaign stuff was missing as downloads. So it like deleted it, and I couldn't start the game. And so I deleted the entire thing. And when I put the discs in, it would get caught in a ready to copy state. And it would not let me copy the game again from my account. I had to create a second account, put the disc in, and it started copying it that way on this new account. So when I sign back into my normal account, once it's all said and done, it's fine. But It was just a fucking mess. So I got this game on Sunday and I didn't get to play it until like Tuesday. So it was a mess. I was so done with it, but like, luckily the game's good enough. So I'm like, okay, that's behind me now, but don't ever do this again. But it's not like, it's, after all said and done, it's like 160 gigs on my hard drive. And it's like, I need to get through this as fast as I can so I can delete the campaign.
And that's modern gaming right now, is that I got to get through it as fast as possible so I can delete it, so I can actually fit other things on there.
At least they let you like delete the parts that you don't use. Once I'm done with the campaign, I can just delete the campaign and save space. If I never touch the multiplayer again, I can just delete the multiplayer mode. Or delete the zombies mode or whatever.
And if you ever want to play again, it'll just go up against your Comcast limit.
Luckily, I don't have any data caps on anything, so I'm lucky in that sense. But
it's kind of weird to me that the games force you to download 4K textures. Like, that's what makes these files so big.
Yeah, because every time you get an Xbox One X enhanced game, you have to download another 7 gigabyte patch that's just installing the One X enhancements. So every game is like 10 gigs bigger than what they say. Red Dead Redemption 2 is like 160 gigabytes or something on my Xbox One X, but it's just, and that's before your fucking 4K textures and stuff. Yeah, they all follow the Watch Dogs 1 method of you have to download the high resolution package separate. I also got in the mail today, and you're going to be very mad when you see it, but I did get a Quest 2.
Oh, nice. You're so lucky.
So I'll be digging into the Oculus.
Excellent.
Quest
We'll give you plenty of review codes, because that's all people send us is, do you want to please review our Oculus Quest game? I'm like, none of us have a VR headset that we're running.
I have a Quest 1.
Okay.
So if there's VR games that need to be played, I can.
There are plenty.
I just don't have it I don't like, because it has the plug it into your computer. So because they don't make the Quest proper anymore.
No, you need that. Was it like it's the PC Link or whatever they're calling it? Quest Link.
It is a USB 3 cable. It is not. It is not it's USB C to USB 3 cable. It's not any special kind of cable. Okay. They just have. There's some that have better data transfer rates than others, and those are the ones that you need with a high transfer rate. But it works fine, but it also I feel like this one will probably be better for that because it's a beefier hardware on the headset. My computer's fine, but not incredible. But I think I need as much help as I can get. So we'll see.
That's something that a lot of people have been asking me about as well, is that Quest 2. Not only the PS5, we're going to get a PS5, but also if I'm getting a VR headset, which one should I get? The Quest 2. All right, we're going to get it. The store.
Yeah. Well, luckily the Quest 2 seems to be the Quest 1 around this time last year was impossible to get. It was sold out everywhere for the holidays. Quest 2, they seem to be readily available, so there's not.
Yeah, there seems to be. I mean, they had them at Best Buy when I walked in the other day to look for something. So
this is just the 64 gigabyte version because I do not need 128 gigs. I don't need to spend the extra $100.
It's insane.
Yeah.
$100 for 64 gig for 64 more.
Yeah. The 128 gig one or whatever is like $400, I think, and it's $300.
You'd never get Call of Duty on that Quest 2.
No, you couldn't.
That's right. That's when you'll plug it into your PC. Yeah. Cool. So you're gonna be playing the Quest 2. I expect a full JJ review on that because I am really curious. I've only read a few things here and there. I haven't had a chance to really talk to specific owners about their Quest 2 because. I'd like to get now that I actually have a PC that's ripping. By the way, I'm going to try the actual, my Audio-Technica microphone, the AT220 next week. That can actually, because it won't work on my Mac very well, but it will work on the PC. So, Aaron, wherever you are, still recovering out there, we miss you. He was the one that forced me to kind of buy this microphone, so I'll have that next week, and maybe I'll even be retiring this Yeti, but we'll see. Anyways,
I also got the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack.
That is cool. That is cool.
I'm just waiting for this podcast to get over so I can put that on and then play some Call of Duty.
Yeah, sure. There is There is a great episode of Imaginary Worlds. Do you guys listen to Imaginary Worlds? It's an awesome podcast. It's all about just like geek culture, and they talk about different things. They had a whole episode on Cowboy Bebop and its effect on other pop culture, like how
huge.
It is absolutely massive. You know,
it's funny for a show that really like. It wasn't big in Japan, like in any way, shape, or form. It is a Western show.
It really is.
It really took off with Western audiences, and like even in Japan, like to this day, with its popularity in America, that didn't translate back to Japan in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And that's how like all of his shows are too. They don't well in Japan, but over here they're like popping. So
yeah.
So that's it. That's what you've been playing this week.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Cool. I'll save Zach here till I'm done because as usual mine are kind of short. I've posted a bunch of reviews that kind of wrapped up a bunch of things that I was playing the last few weeks. Started playing. Well, first of all, I picked up this because you were talking about PS4 stuff. It showed up today.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to play that a little bit. And I had a copy of Resident Evil 7 for PS4. And I thought, hey, it's part of that collection now, right? That's part of that PSN collection. So I don't need the physical copy anymore. So I threw it up on like Facebook Marketplace. And I think I was only asking for like $8, $10, whatever at most. And some dude, I thought I would only get like $5 because the game is going for like $7 everywhere on Black Friday. And this guy messaged me and says, "Hey, would you be willing to do a trade?" I said, "Yeah, sure. What game are you thinking?" Red Dead Redemption 2. I am now a proud owner of Red Dead Redemption 2
nice.
For the PS4, trading it for Resident Evil 7. It's a total win-win situation for me and for him.
Does it have both discs?
Yes. Yeah, I made sure it has both discs. Yeah.
That game fucking rules. That
never played it, and now I have it, which is great because it won't fit on my PS5. But as soon as I get through enough of the games, I'll be able to put it on there.
And they just put out the multiplayer by itself.
Yeah,
for $5.
For $5. Yeah, cool.
So I'm gonna be diving into that eventually. I'm not giving any date.
That game's insane.
When that'll start.
Red Dead 2 is genuinely like it took me a while to like really get into it, but once it got its hooks in me, it's like, it's beautiful too.
Yeah, that'll be me. Wasn't it like the Old Town Road song was basically based on something about that or something? They're like,
it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if that's true or not, but you could definitely say that and people would believe it.
You know what? That's true now. It's true.
Yeah.
God. And the other game I'm playing right now is it showed up. I pre-ordered it on the Switch, and the box showed up back here. And I'll get into the box in a second here. But Fire Emblem. So I'm playing that. I have been playing Hyrule Warriors, kind of plugging through that, and it's fine. It's like this story, but Fire Emblem
chugs like crazy.
Which one? Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah. That game's a chugger.
It really is. Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light. It's a 30th anniversary of Fire Emblem. Nintendo's all about their anniversaries right now, they actually put out a decent package for a 30th anniversary, whereas the Mario 35th anniversary was like 3 games, and it's like they still have all the faults of the previous.
Yeah, and they did that with the 25th anniversary for the Wii when they just put out All Stars on a Wii disc with the soundtrack, and that was it.
And that's all they did there. But they actually went out.
Yeah, they did more for the year of Luigi than they did for Mario.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's probably because they know that whatever they put out for Mario, the people are going to buy it. Yeah. So they don't need to do anything extra.
And I'm sure they're thrilled because Fire Emblem just became a thing in the West.
Yep, it did. Yeah.
Because it's always been that sort of running around the outer edges of popularity in the West, and then it just took off on the 3DS.
It really was. Well, Awakening, I think, was the first one that really, really kind of pushed it.
Because when the first one came out on the GBA in the West, which would have been like the first one in America, and it was just called Fire Emblem because there was no precedent at the time.
And I have that as part of my Ambassador Pass, but I actually own the original.
I think the one in the Ambassador Pass was the second GBA game.
Oh, was it? Okay. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, when that came out, that was like everyone was like, "You need to play this game. It's got this history behind it in Japan. We never got it, and now it's here. And if you like Advance Wars, you're gonna love this." And then now it took a while, but here it is. And now they're like, "We can sell this shit to Americans, and they'll eat it up." So.
It took hot anime girls and boys to make a game.
It really is. And you can have tea with them. And
it's going to be really hard, like, when people pick up this first game and realize that it is not what the game they're playing now is, like, in any way, shape, or form. It's Advance Wars.
It really is. It really is Advance Wars. And that's what I expected that because of playing those Game Boy Advance versions, which is much closer to this, right? It's... I like it, but here was my experience. First time ever playing it. I didn't play any fan translations. I owned the Shadow Dragon version for the DS, but I never played it. I just had it as usual. You by saying I never played it. The version on here, so it has essentially it has a permadeath built into it, right? So I believe it does. Yeah. So. The opening scene, this is the very first thing you do, is you have to, like, oh no, these pirates are attacking the castle, and you gotta go rescue the king. So make your way across the map to the castle. So my guys and they're just pulverizing every pirate they come across. And I have Marth, this is Marth's first, appearance. Have Marth at the forefront, just kind of taking guys out. And my turn, so I put Marth up to attack this pirate who I assumed was weak. Apparently wasn't, because he killed Marth. And then it says, and then the screen cuts to black and says something like, "Oh, Sir Marth, you don't have any history before this." And then it goes black again. It says 1990 Fire Emblem new game. I'm like, no, it didn't auto save and do all that kind of stuff. I was so pissed off. Yep. It has quick saves because it did add a few things in there. But and Nintendo could very easily have put this onto the Switch Online stuff, because it is essentially, it's that same backbone, right? Yeah. You hold the same buttons to go into the same mode. You could do the save states, the backups, but so
it has rewind. It has a rewind.
Has feature. Rewind.
No,
yep.
That's good.
Shit.
I could have just rewound it, man.
I'm gonna rewind it right now, and maybe wow. There you go. See, there you go. Didn't realize it. So there you go. It's permadeath. Anyways, it's one of those. It's gonna be one of those hardcore little RPGs that just I tap into when I'm in between months, of not playing out my hop on and just kind of chug away at a chapter, and that's it. But I ordered the special edition. Here, let me grab the special edition. I have to reach over here. I was all excited, right? Super cool box. And all the stuff you get in it is really cool. And I haven't opened this box because I'm dumb like that. I'm not going to open it, but I will probably open it. But then I'll put everything back in the box, except...
You got the big damage right fucking...
Right there is my fat finger. Big old dent, and I was so PO'd. And listen, I'm going to open it. I'm going to plug through it. I'm going to find a way to cut this little plastic piece really nice so it doesn't, doesn't damage it, all that kind of stuff. But I like to keep the boxes intact. When I store them, I just want to make, I actually kind of keep them nice and clean. And I have this big effing dent in there. So I messaged Target, and I'm like, hey, can I get this exchanged? They said, well, we don't have any in stock. I'm like, well, I know because it's not out. It's not in your stores yet, but can you guys send me an order when it shows up, and then I'll mail this guy? Or how do I do? Do I mail this guy back? Well, we're not sure we're going to get any more in stock. I'm like, crap. So they said just hold on to it until they appear in stores or online, and you can swap it out. So while I was doing that, I ended up, I think this morning, Best Buy posted them and said, hey, we have some in stock. So thank you, Wario64. So I just ordered one from Best Buy. And I think they were still up on Amazon as of an hour ago, too. So ordered one. It's heavy. It's a heavy-ass box. And I'm just going to return this to Target.
I wonder what's in it.
The other one. I wonder what's in that crystal clear plastic NES card. Anyways,
I always love
cool.
It's becoming a trend with you're getting it with limited run now too, with non-funcking replica cartridges for some reason. It's becoming this weird thing. Because I get all of the Neo Geo Shockbox editions that they put out, and each one of them comes with a quarter scale version of a Neo Geo cartridge, and it's I don't like I would prefer something like a soundtrack or something, but instead of getting
Nintendo should have done that.
Yeah.
They should have put a cart, like an actual little cart that you store inside of that big crystal NES cartridge, right? That would have been perfect. By the way, they have a crystal NES cartridge with the NES black plastic sleeve, the one we remember from the NES days. But they have the Famicom box because we didn't have an NES version of the game. And they have a Nintendo Power in there. It's actually it's like this whole hodgepodge of a few different things, like a mini Nintendo Power. But it's a cool look, and whenever I get the other one, it's a cool set. It's actually really well done. I really do wish they would have put it on the cart because you just get a digital download code for the game, which sucks because those things will probably run out at some point. So I might have to just sell this download code or give it away. Or I mean, it's only like $5. The game is only like $4.99 anyways, or whatever it was. But still, it's kind of a bummer that whatever. And it's only available until March 31st or something crazy like that. Another one of those Nintendo things. So
I keep missing out on because I do want it just because I like that goofy shit.
Same here.
Every time it pops up somewhere, like Wario posted, I click the link, it's like it's sold out. I'm like, I keep just missing it. Well, fuck it. It's Fire Emblem 1. I played it like 15 years ago on a fake translation. I'm fine.
It's literally just owning it for the sake of owning it.
Yeah.
That's just good. Hey, Zach, what are you playing?
Oh man. Okay. See, today I picked up Shireen, what's it called? The new mystery dungeon game.
Oh, okay.
New, but it's a Vita port. Shireen the Wanderer, Tower of Fortune.
Okay.
It's really, really fun. It's really weird. That's all I got so far. So.
Okay. That's all you got out of this. Just it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's an older series too, because I remember I used to call it Shirin. I don't know if it's Shireen or Shirin. I have no idea. Who knows?
Yeah. It's not like they say it in the game, so it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'd always been intrigued by those, especially this latest one. You said it's like a Vita port remake thing.
Yeah, it's a really technical dungeon crawler. I played a lot of the tutorial. There's like 5 pages of tutorial stuff, so I was just playing through that. Okay. And it's just like, it's really weird. It's a really weird game. I'm excited to go back into it after Cyberpunk's done with.
That's where the majority of us will be playing Cyberpunk next week. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, besides that, it's just been Kingdom Hearts. And,
all right. And you did play COD Blop, so could you guys already talked about it? Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts.
There's not much to talk about with COD Blop.
Okay, so
you warned us going into this was going to happen.
Yep, here we go.
So I beat the rhythm game, and it reveals a lot about the future of the series, which is really
that's cool. That's cool.
So at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora gets transported to like a modern day Shibuya. Like that's like where because like the Disney part of the world is done. It's like, okay, this part is closed. Like where this accidental world that we opened up is over with. We have to go on. So Sora and Riku get split up and transported, and you go to Shibuya, and then you get the secret ending where it's the 13 Verses trailer, basically remade in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh,
so it's like that main character. So that's huge. So then leading into this rhythm game, you get you get to hear about these masters that have been in alternate worlds. Mm-hmm. And it's like heavily hinted that it's like Noctis and other Final Fantasy characters, and like Type Zero and Agito, like the weird Final Fantasy games are these like masters that have transported to different worlds. So there's that. It's really cool. But the cool part is the place where they got transported to is called, I wrote it down, it's called Quadratum, which is Latin for square. So they're in the square world.
They're in the square universe.
That's cool. That's neat. That's cool.
So exciting.
So they're gonna strip out the Disney stuff and just make it like they're like all intercompany shit now?
What I think they're gonna do. I think they might have to keep Donald and Goofy, but Yeah, it's pretty much they pretty much said like this world's done with. There's nothing we can do. We finished everything here. We have to go on. Because I mean, like the Square Enix characters have been in the series for forever.
Yeah,
and they've always
and
been
built them up. They've been building them up a lot more.
Yeah, and they've been talked about from being from a different world this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like because it's about two different worlds colliding, which is Disney, Square, and then you have these middle children, Sora, Riku, who are these like test tube babies used for like testing souls and stuff and transportation. So it's really interesting and really cool. I think the coolest thing is how mad he is about Final Fantasy 13 Versus not being what he wanted it to be. Like that ending is
Nomura. Is that who that was? Yeah,
it's very, very, very much like him saying like I can't believe this happened. I'm back. I'm gonna like get revenge. I'm gonna do all this, and it's like, dude, he's just mad about that game not even happening. And throughout Kingdom Hearts 3, there's this fake game that they keep seeing in the Toy Story world. It's called Virum Rex. And Virum Rex becomes real at one point. Like the video game comes out into the video game, and it's like, and the character moves and acts like the Versus 13 character.
Oh wow!
So it's just like all this crazy shit. It's so cool.
So cool.
The rhythm game is like the last 2 hours is just like a lore dump.
Oh really?
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid style, like
crazy. It's about Kyrie and how she's like been like a lab test and
it's weird that they're able to do that with a rhythm game with like move along this track left and right because I downloaded the demo and played the demo and I thought, okay, cool, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Of course it gets more and more because the demo doesn't have the complexities of the full melody stuff, but the rhythm thing.
It has a full RPG built into it. Like you level up, you get potions, you get drops, you get
Man, that's what I loved about those theater rhythm games. Those theater rhythm games are so good. Did you guys play either of those? The theater rhythm?
Yeah. Those are great.
Yeah.
And like the way the game is laid out is you have this like world which basically counts as like a timeline. So you play through all the separate games. Okay. And it shows movies, but it's Kyrie talking over it, like saying like Sora did this and he did that and he wondered why this happened. So it's like a nice recap that leads up into Kingdom Hearts 3 that then it's like, okay, here's the next leg.
I'm sure it's fun to see him trying to line out his own plot line here. How does he interpret his own story? How does this?
The thing I always say to people that haven't played like all the games is like, you have to play all the games, and it's crazy how much has been planted since the first game. Like,
sure.
He's had this shit planned out for a long time. And I think it's genius writing, but it's also not. Like, it's like there's some stupid stuff in there, but it blows my mind every time I dig into it. So, and there's this forum thread I read where people, like, with clues in the games were able to predict a lot of stuff that just happened now. So it's like these people are like, oh yeah, then this log note and this log note and two, and in the phone game they said this, and the key and the Keyblade War this happened, so we can say that this. So it's like, but it's like it's all there, and there's people who are like lore keepers and stuff that it's like really fun. So
it's like trying to piece together the Zelda timeline, and somebody as like the whole kind of wall thing, right? Someone's got the lines in the wall and everything, and it actually being true.
Yeah. No,
that's cool.
And then you got the World End With You Part 2 prequel coming out soon, which like Shibuya is where that game takes place.
Exactly. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, that's going to be World Ends With You.
Yep.
I do love the fact, like, that's one thing that I've missed from Square is them going all out on having a fun Square universe mix, like a mashup, because everyone's always wanted Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. Not having those two together is a crime. And however you do it, whether it's theater rhythm style, or there's melody style, or a Kingdom Hearts style, I think there are opportunities, and so they have huge sets of lore. Like, imagine the Mana universe, or the Saga universe, or and all that stuff pulled together, and it's pretty astounding. So Yeah, I think there's if that's the direction they're going in, that would be really cool.
Because
and
up
it would
until this
cost
point,
a lot less too.
Yeah, licensing. Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially with, I mean, as the Disney person, I know how hard it is to work third party with Disney. How protective they are of the IPs, particularly the main five. You know,
Yep.
how little you can stray from this sort of nebulous vision that exists of the characters. It's not Walt's vision, even though they'll tell you that.
Right. Yep.
It's like, it's so to strip that away probably will help the sort of storytelling a lot for them.
I started laughing because I remember in Kingdom Hearts 2 there's a scene where Goofy gets hit in the head with a rock, and they play it straight that he's dead. Like they play it completely straight. Everyone's crying like, "Oh my god, Goofy!" And it's so funny.
Yeah.
But it's like, how did they get away with that? Like how does he get away with this stuff?
I can only assume that the language barrier helps him sort of pull one over. Like, because it takes so long to get things back and forth, and I'm sure, especially during around the most recent years with Disney and how sort of overly big it's gotten, and overwrought it's gotten, that it's probably even easier now to pull one over and send it on them and just, well, it's already in there, so what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Right.
That's like
cool.
The only Square crossover we've had in like any recent memory was that the City is shit, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, the City, and I think like Brave Exvius type of stuff.
The weird mobile stuff where the gotcha games and stuff. Fuck you,
hey,
Corey.
And there you go.
So the thing that you're saying Square for some reason made me think, like, because I was thinking about Marvel. I was like, why? Like, wow, they could have put Marvel in, but Marvel and Square have a thing, so it's like,
with the Avengers stuff
so
going on.
Is there a potential there? Like, is Tony Stark going to show up?
Based on that game's sales? No
boy, yeah, good lord. I know I wasn't going to touch on that in the news, but it's that's just, and that game arrived in the same package as Star Wars, as Squadrons, and I'm returning that game. So
you just got big boxo Disney crap. Huh?
Yep, I do. Cool. So, would you recommend this for fans of Kingdom Hearts, or just like, who would you recommend that game for?
It's definitely for fans. Like,
okay.
How is the rhythm game part of?
It's really good.
Yeah,
I like it.
I love the demo.
I know nothing about it. Like, what is the soundtrack situation going on with that game? Like,
there is a ton of orchestrated stuff from like the original songs, and then you have the original songs that they made for the worlds, and then you have like there's some Disney songs, maybe like 4 or 5. They got Let It Go, so you can play Let It Go.
Oh, nice.
Let It Go. I feel like Let It Go is also in like those like titled Drum Master games on the Switch too, or something. It's just like this universal song that just put, if you can pay, if you
the new Happy Birthday is what it is. The new Happy Birthday.
Yeah, and so like I play a lot of rhythm games on like my iPad, and I play TJ Max on my computer a lot, so that's like kind of like my side thing I do. Like, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna play a rhythm game. But so like the Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, I'm really impressed with how it is able to increase the rhythm from like easy, medium to hard. Because usually in like a Guitar Hero, for example, like you press one note and it would play a bunch of notes, right?
Yeah.
But in this, it's like, it does a good job of making you feel like you're still doing stuff even at like the lowest. So it does a good job of building on itself and adding the extra layers. Yeah, I'm the type of person that plays the hardest and gets like an A, and I'm like, okay, like, but yeah, the window for pressing things is really tight. So if you mess up like a drum beat or like a jump or something, you'll just get fucked up. You have to start over. So
that's
but it's fun. It's weird to say, but it translates the gameplay of the main series pretty well. Because there's like jumping that you need to do to jump over bad guys, and you jump and hit things in the air on the beat, and then there's like gliding, which you do in the games, and you gotta like glide and hit things with the other triggers, and it does a good job of translating that. So
I want to play it, but I'm just now getting around to playing the first game, and I'm working my way through it. Also, I'm like, that's gonna be a good like 3 or 4 years until I ever get around to actually playing.
Yeah.
I'm in that same boat. I picked up that 2.8 mega mix thing basically that had everything on there, but I don't have
I got
3.
that. I got that. The
Story
the complete one with So it's got this.
I was like laying in bed last night thinking like I want to replay through all the games again. I'm just so excited to go through the series again. I usually do that like once every 2 years or so. I play through the whole series. So I'm
that way with Metal Gear Solid. Like every couple of years, it's like, well, I'm just gonna start at 1 and I'm gonna work my way through everything.
There is the Metal Gear Solid games, and we'll get into news in a second here. Do you play those in a specific order, or do you just go 1?
You gotta play release order.
Okay. Yeah, release order is the only real way to do it. Because even the storylines themselves really do play well with one another in release order. If you play them in chronological order, it feels
it's all over the place.
It's all over the place and weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the gameplay is also like it gets better. So it's like if you play the best one first, you're like. Yeah, this poo-poo one.
Yeah, if you went like 3 and then the portable games and then like the Phantom Pain, all that stuff, and then you go back to like the NES game or the Famicom games or the MXX games, and then Metal Gear Solid 1 and then 2, 4. It'd be a fucking nightmare.
Because like in 1 on the PlayStation 1, even on the GameCube, you can't walk and aim at the same time. You have to walk and stop and aim, and then you got to move.
Well, and even things like the GameCube one lets you shoot from first person, which you couldn't do, and then like there's different versions of 3. Like the 3DS version of 3 lets you crouch walk, which you can't do in any of the other ones, and then like. The original version of 3 has the traditional Metal Gear camera, but in like the subsistence version, you can activate like a better camera that actually works. It's all over the place. It is hard to know exactly what the fuck you're supposed to be doing.
2, you can skateboard.
2 has skateboarding, full Tony Hawk bullshit on Big Shell. It's great.
That's cool. All right, cool. I will get into that. You guys want to get into some news right now?
Might as well.
That can walk right into the news. Speaking of Metal Gear Solid, Oscar Isaac is your Solid Snake.
Wow.
I absolutely love all of the like news headlines where it's like Oscar Isaac to play Solid Snake, and they're always next to like a picture of Big Boss.
Yep. I made it a point to find a picture of Solid Snake and put it in there. But yeah, so he's been tapped. Looks like it. This is funny because it was March of 2019. He did an interview with IGN, and they said, if you could do any video game, what would you like? And he said Metal Gear Solid. He says, and I would be Solid Snake.
No, I like the way that quote went out. The guy was like, "Who would you play?" And then he gets indignant, like, Snake, man.
Yeah, Snake, man. Like, what the F? Yeah. Yep.
Snake and Liquid Snake and the President.
Yeah, they're all the same
Big
person.
Boss.
Which would be a cool twist. It would be a cool twist.
Was it Big Boss and also the guy that got turned into Big Boss from the Spy?
He'll be Venom.
Venom punished.
So yeah, that's obviously it hasn't started filming or anything. And if it starts any type of production 2021, you're looking at 2022 at the earliest.
I don't know what a Metal Gear Solid movie is. I really don't. I know what Metal Gear Solid is, and it's like
Zach, you posted a great tweet in the isn't Metal Gear already a movie? Yeah. How much is Kojima going to be involved, right?
I mean, the epilogue of Metal Gear Solid 4 is like an hour and 45 minutes. It is a feature-length film in and among itself, and that's just the end of that game with after you've beaten it.
I've got to play. I have yet to play 4.
Well, you can only play
I have yet to play any of them, so I've got to get into them.
You can only play it on one fucking system, so they've never re-released 4 anywhere. It's only on the PlayStation 3, and I think technically on the PlayStation 4 and 5 because it was on PlayStation Now at one point.
Sure.
But who wants to stream Metal Gear Solid 4?
I'm curious. That seems like a win from Konami just to re-release like a Metal Gear Solid pack. Like, hey guys, here's your Game Awards prediction, Metal Gear. No, that would be a moneymaker for them, right?
I mean, I would absolutely love to just have another all-in-one package of the PlayStation 3 set was really good. That had everything from Metal Gear Solid 1 as a digital download with the VR missions too. All it has the subsistence version of 3 on there, so it has the MSX games in there. So it's everything up to 4. It's a good set, and just do that again. But
if Oscar Isaac has any pull, let's hope that he can get that happen.
I think
let's remake all of the Metal Gear Solid games, but with Oscar Isaac. And like when they did the GoldenEye remake with Daniel Craig.
Oh, that's right.
And so like I'm interested in the movie. I'm really because the guy who's doing it is a really big fan. He's been with Roberts. Yeah, he's been with Kojima a lot.
Yeah, it's always tricky when a fan makes something, though, because they might be a little blinded and their best intentions might damage the overall product.
Sure.
I think I also kind of trust him because Kong is like really good. I like that film a lot, and he's also a big fan of kaiju stuff, and he kind of gets it. So like I kind of trust him and what he's doing.
If a fan's gonna do it, I would trust him over a lot of other people. So.
I've got to rewatch Kong. I didn't like Kong the first time.
Dude, Kong is so good. That movie is sick. And Kong in that movie is just a baby. He's like a quarter of a size.
And he just like chilled when the Earth was dying a couple years ago. But hey, we'll see it on HBO Max. A little bit of movie news.
There we go.
Because JJ likes to move. Tell us what's happening here, JJ.
Oh man, all of 2021 slate is from Warner Brothers is going to go day and date theatrically and HBO Max. It's fucking wild shit there that count. So Dune, Matrix 4, Kong versus Godzilla,
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman was already announced that way. Suicide Squad. One would assume. We don't know. Like we just know it's 2021. You have to get these movies off the books, and this is the way to do it. Yep. So we don't know how if 2022 we'll see any change in that, but as it is right now, 2021 is definitely.
So my question is, Dune was supposed to come out in November. Why isn't it out now? I want to watch Dune.
I know. It's the weirdest thing because all of these movies, all of their once the like cycle starts turning, you can't stop the train. Yeah. So like all of these movies have already had their like merchandising and marketing stuff going on
already.
Like the Wonder Woman Doritos have come and gone. we're at the Call of Duty
the Halo
Doritos
Infinite
already.
one. Yeah, now we're at the Halo Infinite Doritos.
Yeah, and like and all the Black Widow stuff. Like Disney still has no window for that. Really, they have a date, but will it see that date? We don't know.
Right?
May of 2021, but will it? Who the fuck knows? But like their merchandising things come and gone. All the game crossover stuff's done. Yep. All of the action figures have come out. All of that they have so all of these movies are coming out with no like secondary marketing outside of trailers. It's like the Dune action figures came out. The comic series is going on right now. And like because everything's supposed to be out, so it would make sense to just fucking drop it, just do it because you have the marketing moving right now and
just hype it up and exactly.
It's not like it's gonna matter. Like once it's on HBO Max, once it's there, it's there. It's not like it's a theater where you're trying to get people out and about and go to see your thing. The hype machine will be the word of mouth. You have if they don't have confidence in the movie, I can understand because they won't have time to hype it. But I assume they have to have confidence in the movie because they did have a relatively big hype machine in place.
And Oscar Isaac is in this too.
Everyone's in that movie. Like, my boy Batista's in that movie.
That's true. Yeah, you're the man. So it's gonna be real interesting. I'm really really interested to see what theater is like in 2021.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think really what the question will be what theater is like in 2022.
Correct. Yeah,
that's
true.
the real question going forward. 2021 theater is going to be pretty much 2020 theater. There's no way around it.
I think. I mean, yes, but I also think they're going to be dumping other. I mean, there are movies that are done that were meant to launch in 2021, early 20 or late 2020. Yeah. So I think there's going to be potentially more. Revenue will be way down in 2020. Even if the coronavirus is completely gone, revenue is going to be way down in 2020. We know that. That's a given right now. People are still going to be really antsy to go. You got all these deals with the digital delivery of films and stuff. So I think that's. I think it's going to damn it. But I do think you could potentially see a few more big movies hit theaters in 2021 than
I'm glad because I was looking at the list of all the stuff coming out, and it's like there's certain things on there you look at. It's like I was always going to see Kong and Wonder Woman and Dune and all that stuff, but like something like The Conjuring, which I always watch those movies, but always like it's like on Vudu and it's on sale for like $4 or something,
or it's on HBO or Showtime.
Like to have the new one come out, and I don't have to like I don't have to make a choice. Do I want to spend the $10 to go see The Conjuring, or am I going to use my credit at the video store to get to go or at the movie theater to see something a big budget thing or something. And the new Conjuring looks good, so so I just get to watch it when it comes out. So
movies.
I just want new movies. That's
same here.
That's where my heart is right now. Just give me new movies. I'll watch anything. Just put it in front of me.
How about instead of going to see stuff, you go to experience stuff at Super Nintendo World, which is opening at Universal Japan in February. That sounds like it's totally gonna happen, guys.
Yeah. Is your dog just losing his mind over there?
Yeah, I'm about to go check on him.
Yeah. Go check on him.
All right, we'll talk about
Super Nintendo World because I'm also the theme park guy here.
Yes,
right?
you are.
Fucking man. I'm bummed. I'm bummed about theme parks because there is fucking no turning back for them right now. It is. I am an annual pass holder to Disneyland that has been able to use his annual pass once this year. Went in February and they shut their park doors exactly a month later. So
wow. So you kill wrestlers and you kill theme parks.
Kill wrestlers and theme parks, baby. That's the curse.
So it's cool. Like they showed the Mario Kart thing, which looks pretty cool. I mean the AR. The augmented reality Mario Kart. There's obviously other things there because they're, it's when you look at the park, the photographs, the photographs almost look like they're all they're computer renderings. It looks that interesting.
It's very cool to see that stuff, like all the sort of like secret guerrilla photography of it, and just to see how they've nailed the Nintendo movements on things, like all of the animatronic stuff that is going around the park. Like they've absolutely nailed the Nintendo style of all that stuff. It's very impressive.
And so they're building the one in the U.S. already, right?
Yes, it's been the one in
Florida.
In both Florida, and they've already broken ground in California. I don't think they've broken ground in Florida yet, but Florida's always got construction going on. It's just like Disney World. It's a different beast than the American one. But because like the American one was supposed to like open next year, but that's obviously not happening because it's just like Disney has California Adventure has Adventures Campus, which is going to be the big Marvel expansion to California Adventure, and it was supposed to open 4 or 5 months ago, but it's not even done now because obviously everything's gone to hell. The California theme parks aren't even open yet. Like you can go to Florida, those parks are open. But the California stuff's still closed. So, they get to take their sweet time if they need to at this point.
And
I will be first in line over there. And that's the one that'll get me to go to Universal California just to kind of hang out.
I haven't been to the California Hollywood Universal in a significant amount of time. I mean, I used to because I go to Disneyland once a year at least. But I used to also do like every other trip was Universal Studios Hollywood, but it sort of stopped doing that because it's a significant amount of distance away from Disneyland, and it hasn't changed that much.
Okay.
It's super changed now, so it's going to behoove me to go and check things out, but I'll wait now until the Super Mario World stuff is up and running there. So
here's another place that you can go much earlier. Wow, these segues are working great.
Beautiful.
PAX has announced their slate of in-person events in 2021.
I'm fucking not going to PAX. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right, here are the dates. Ready? PAX East is June 3rd through 6th in Boston, the week before E3. Or, 2 weeks, whatever. A week or two before E3, whatever. And then you have...
Theoretically, the week before E3.
Well, who knows if they'll even be in E3 this year.
E3 still exists.
Apparently. PAX West is September 3rd through 6th, so around the normal time.
Same, yeah.
And then you got PAX Unplugged, which I've never...
That's just all board games and stuff.
That's the board games. I've never been to it. Yeah. It's a much smaller one. That's in Philadelphia, December 10th through 12th. And then, and then they're going to reveal more about PAX Australia later on, which usually falls around October.
PAX Australia would probably be the safest of the ones to go to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's...
I am not fucking going to PAX next year. There's no way you're getting me. I don't care. There's a potential that you could talk me into going to Disneyland next year, maybe.
Sure.
But PAX, tight, enclosed spaces with that fucking crowd? No. This is the place where I got the swine flu or the bird flu or whatever the fuck it was. I'm not.
Yep. You're still recovering from that. It's funny because I did one of those online survey things about where in line would you be for the vaccine. I was curious. I'm like, at what point would I be in the vaccine? I'm the kind of person who's like, I'll get it for sure, no problem, whatever. Yeah. I'd be like basically 280 million people would be ahead of me. Thank you, sir. I tried. This is a jingly jangly Yeti abominable snowman with lights. 280 million people would be ahead of me, and I don't think any of those folks would go to PAX East. So I'd be probably the only person vaccinated at PAX East. But it's seeing at what's happening in Los Angeles right now, in California, potentially getting completely shut down over December. But now like hardcore shutdown in December and January. Hardcore. Not just like hey, don't go get home by 10. Now it's like no, you're staying inside your house.
The armed guards kind of shut
literally. Down. And a 6-month recovery out of that would be quite difficult, I think, because you would at least for Los Angeles for E3, and we haven't seen the worst in like places like Boston yet because this is the winter season, so who knows how crazy things are going to be. It seems like it's really. I don't think it's going to happen. They're shooting their shot, of course, but I'm going to say this. I will say this. I kind of like the idea of. And nobody else in the game industry likes this, my journalist buddies that I've talked to.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having PAX East a couple weeks before E3. Because, to me, having like these two kind of bigger events together. One is that publishers can now really focus on who their target audience is for each of these events. Because PAX East, people still expect like Nintendo to come with like $1 million booth or something, whatever. Sony's usually there, Xbox is there. They're all throwing these events, and you still have a few in like East and West. You have a few big publishers there, but it's mostly like indies and like the middle A area, and a lot of like community esports stuff. And those folks typically have to reshuffle and then get back to E3, and try to get into E3 because you never really see indie stuff. You do, but it's completely lost to the bigger news. So I would say, have PAX East or have some type of PAX event a couple weeks before E3. That way you get all the indie stuff, all the esports, the kind of that preparatory, the celebration.
And it would let the bigger developers not have to do like split their time because all of them they won't have to worry about doing the behind closed doors. Hey, come to the Hilton at room 743 to see this thing off site. So you could just you can erase that completely from your PAX docket and just.
I completely agree, and I think that and it helps publications, I would feel, who have to send like the same people to all these different events, right?
Yeah.
Especially like smaller publications, or even large publications are like, okay, we got to send everybody now to E3. We got to send everybody to PAX East. Now you can actually sort of divide up and say, okay, if you're the esports person, and PAX East is the college and esports and community stuff. That's where that focus is going to be.
Yeah.
Discord will be at PAX East.
Yeah.
Twitch and some streaming stuff will be at PAX East. E3 will be more of the industry and the, and I think that would really help both of those events immense. It really helped E3, which is just a complete mess right now with their whole stupid, letting the fans in there and the fans don't really know what we're trying to divide that too. But I think you could, in a way, I actually think you would grow E3's attendance, because that's what they want to do. They want to grow the attendance at E3. If you're able to refocus on these big AAA industry level stuff and technology stuff, and then you let the fans and the indies have PAX East, I think there could be something, or whatever.
I really would like to see E3 go back to also like the hardware stuff too. That was always fun, of just like, here's all this crazy ass like peripherals and
here's an inflatable Mario Kart that you shove a Wii remote.
That was always fun, reading the old like EGMs and like Game Pros and stuff, and getting that stuff. And it's like, look at this crazy ass piece of hardware that they're making that will turn any game into. It's like, yeah, cool, activator, let's do it.
I completely agree, and I think that's where you find a lot of cool technologies, but. Anyways,
and the PAX is so beautiful for finding like small indie games and stuff like that with the PAX 10 and all that stuff. Yeah, and
getting to network and getting to know people and stuff. I think to me the PAX East is great for, or the PAX is great for like indies, right? You get to as our friend says, a VR treadmill. Yes, a VR treadmill is where you find that kind of stuff at E3.
You see it at PAX and nobody gives a shit. Like,
exactly. I could almost see like PAX being where the fans come to the indies, and some small publications like ours. We go to we get to mingle with the indies, PAX, and then E3 is like industry, but then the indies are now sort of that fan level, and they go to E3 as developers who are sort of getting into the trade. So I think there could be a good kind of walk that way.
PAX needs to be more like a Comic-Con than anything,
because
the thing that's cool about, especially not necessarily San Diego Comic-Con,
right.
Because that's a different beast altogether. It's barely a Comic-Con anymore,
but more of like your local bigger city,
like Emerald City Comic-Con around here,
Motor City Comic-Con over here.
Like Marvel and DC don't have booths there. I mean, they have like a presence, but like they're mostly there for like panels. Like you go in and sit down, and they'll talk about like what they're working on, what to expect in the future, maybe make some announcements and little things like that for the fans or whatever. And like the floor is for like retail and small independent publishers and artists and things like that. And PAX could really benefit from just sort of stripping away the big budget sort of thing.
Yeah,
really you can have Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, and EA and all those guys still have a place there, but just more as just a sort of like I don't know what the right word for that.
More of like community, and
like just to connect with you. It's like we're not like you're not coming here to play the new Assassin's Creed or Halo or the new Forza or whatever, but we are going to talk about it. We're going to show you footage of what's coming, what you can expect and stuff. And it may anger people at early on because you've kind of come to expect that. But I've come from a place where I've been going to PAX since like before it was in Seattle.
Right.
And like the early days, it was like
PAX Prime,
back when there was only one PAX. And you would go there and it was like a small little thing, and like Nintendo was there. Microsoft was there because they're in Redmond. So they would show up with like Star Fox Command, but not Mario. There's not like, we're not going to bring Mario Galaxy there, but you do get to play like whatever the new thing is.
And it's a great point, because it's a cool way for even these bigger publishers. Like EA wouldn't bring Madden there, but they might bring what is it, the game where you play the guy Yarny, remember the Yarny
character?
They might bring that
Unravel.
Unravel, there you go. They might bring Unravel too there, so those are the kind of things that I think really help. And I like that idea of sort of this Comic-Con, this local or Comic-Con feel, because you go into those and you have the actual designers are at the booths, and I could totally see.
That's the thing. The star of the show at a Comic-Con are the people that make it.
Yep.
It's the artists, it's the writers, and you could bring in guests, because that's the thing. You don't ever get to really interact with anyone that is a face of a company when you go to the EA panel. This person is telling you who they are, but you've never seen them on anything. Yeah. It's like, I trust that you're just not some sort of hired guy that learned a script at this point.
Yeah.
But it's like, go there and it's like, we're not going to bring a game, but we will bring, whoever, this is the, the head designer of your favorite franchise.
PAX could be, obviously with streamers and stuff getting big, and I know Zach's going to absolutely love this. PAX could be where you go and you pay $200 to get a photograph with Ninja.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think, because like I said, I think I talked about it last week when I was talking about Tetris. Like, I went there and Alexi was there, and I paid money to get I didn't pay money because it was just PAX just sort of included everything.
It's just PAX,
just go there. I got a picture with him. I got an autograph. Got to chat with him for a second, and that's like. I went to the Kojima panel they had there one year where they had Kojima on stage. I'm just sitting there watching Kojima talk about Ground Zeroes back when that was brand new. Nobody had really seen it.
Was that when he had the bandages on his face?
No, that was a little before that.
I saw a similar thing for Mass Effect 3, and I thought that was awesome, and I think,
I like that experience more of seeing, because I went to the Mighty Number 9 panel when they announced that and they launched the Kickstarter. Like, that was exciting then, because that we didn't know it was impossible to see the future on that. But that was exciting then. It was like, hey, it's a new fucking Mega Man game from the Mega Man guy,
I actually remember I went to a BioShock Infinite panel with Irrational Games with Ken Levine, and he talked about he's like, all right, we're going to talk about the traversal around the city, and everyone's like, oh my god, they're using wires to go from end to end, and then that was news, and that's what PAX is great for.
What that one year where like when Duke Nukem Forever got announced at PAX and that stuff like that, like that kind of shit, like I like that stuff more than waiting 2.5 hours in line to play the new Arkham game or whatever.
That's exactly.
I have better memories of the panels that I've done at PAX than any of the waiting in line for anything. Like, it's cool to be able to play something early, but as a fan, it's also like you are just taking place in the PR arm of everything at the end of the day.
So
and it's great feedback for the designers, for the developers too.
For the developers,
Direct feedback.
I was just thinking, my ideal convention for E3 would be like a GDC kind of hybrid thing. Because I would really love to see devs talk about how they do things, like marketers talking about how we marketed this. Like, I would love to see that on a AAA scale.
I remember a panel that I always liked, that I always thought was super interesting, was PAX one year had a panel with Pactor. Talking about the numbers.
Paxter,
talking about the numbers and explaining all of these, showing you the charts of how games that get demos tend to sell worse. It's like, okay,
I love that shit.
I love that shit. I am all in for that kind of thing.
And E3 as a whole is so standoffish for people because it's just a marketing tool. That's all that is.
It could be so cool that you can get Elon Musk on stage to talk about games.
No. I mean, because E3 is supposed to be a trade show. It's not supposed to be anything more than a trade show, but it's had to evolve to be this PR circus. Especially in the era of the internet, where they have to stream this shit and it's 24-hour instant access to whatever's being said. Because if you go back and watch, and Giant Bomb does a great job of doing this sometimes, because they'll do the game tape stuff where they'll pull out the old footage and old B-roll that they used to get and stuff like that, where they're showing this is how it used to be. They would we're filming B-roll, for E3, and you're going to send that off to the website, or you're going to send it off to the news program, and you're just going to cut it up to how it needs to be, because it's not designed to show you like what you want to buy. It's designed to show you what they're selling you. It's not like it's not supposed to be like, you know, breaking news. It's supposed to be, hey investors, hey Toys R Us, hey GameStop, here's the shit that we have, you know, and that's common among every industry that has something to sell. You know, you go to auto shows, Dolly. You know, those are dead fucking serious events. I've been to auto shows. There's no levity to those, and there's not supposed to be levity to E3. It's just supposed to be like, we're showing you this stuff, you're gonna write about it. That's this contract. But now it's becoming this thing where it's like you're letting people in, and like, yeah, I can go to the Seattle International Auto Show and sit in the new, you know, Toyota truck that's out or whatever. But that's you know, that's again, that's you trying to sell me the car. That's not me trying to demo the car. That's just me being, yeah. It's
and that's where, you know, like I said, I think a lot of folks are upset, but I'm like, no, I think if you push the two closer together, and you put a PAX near an E3, to me it benefits publishers, it benefits press, because now you can actually divvy up your time a little better, and who's
I don't think
doing
PAX would be happy with that.
PAX would be happy, but I mean, it's potentially going to happen. But I mean, PAX would honestly, I think PAX's attendance would go through the roof. I mean, they already struggled to maintain, and it would continue to maintain. But it's just gonna. I don't know. I'm much happier if they're closer together. And I'm saying that not having gone through it and not believing at all that it's going to happen this year, of course. But I think there's some interesting positives if it's organized correctly, and if things are done right. Like here in the U.S. or here in Detroit area. You mentioned auto shows. We have essentially the week before the auto show, which you have all the debuts. Like, and these are, I should say the weekend. It's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're getting all the big debuts. That's when all like the hardcore press is there. Yeah. And this is like the hottest concept vehicles, all the flashiest cars. And then you have Monday and Tuesday are just like regular press days for the press to go in, check things out, talk to developers. And there's a couple debuts here and there. And then Wednesday and Thursday are the industry comes in. So you have like developer to developer, engineer to engineer is talking and looking at stuff. And then Friday it switches over to essentially a big charity event, and it opens up everything to, you know, the next week to the masses. And I think you kind of do that in reverse with E3, or hell, do a big giant charity event the night before E3. Or the last day of E3 or whatever, charge like, because they charge a couple $100 a ticket over here, charge like $400 for all these gaming industry execs to just walk around the entire, the entire booth before the public gets in and have free reign. I think there's definitely opportunities. I know right away there were people like freaking out, but I'm kind of positive on it. But before we talk anymore about that, I'm kind of done on that. Game Awards are next week, and I want to spend just a quick little bit of time with any predictions you guys might have.
Oh, man.
I'm throwing this one out at you.
I'm absolutely terrible at predicting anything.
Me too.
There's absolutely nothing.
Aaron is the best at predictions. He nails it almost every time. And
I know
Katie has been really good too. Katie's been pretty good.
I've had I think in the few times I've done the predictions on this fucking thing, I've gotten like one right. So
same here. Yep.
I don't even know what to even like what the future looks like.
Death Stranding release day. Oh wait, that's like 2 years ago.
I mean, I'm gonna throw a couple things out there. I think we'll see something Cyberpunk related because Cyberpunk's releasing that day. So maybe it's like a multiplayer tease.
They will announce when the PS5 and
the
Series X versions.
No, I think
when
you're
your free upgrade is available.
I think that. Oh, you know what? And it'll be here's a free upgrade today.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's a good point. Yeah, that could be the free upgrade news. And then I actually think we'll get the only Nintendo news I think we'll get is we'll get a trailer for Bowser's Fury, and to find out what that actually is. And say, hey, here's the Bowser's Fury thing.
There will probably be something Nintendo like for some small little thing.
Yeah, Bayonetta 3.
No.
Yeah.
Even though it debuted at the Game Awards, right, a few years ago.
It
Yeah. But I could see like NES remix.
I would like to see. I was gonna say I'd like to see some sort of like 3DS revival of something because they had so many cute little like neat things like the NES remix or like the Pushmo, Crashmo, like somehow. Yeah, Prime 4, not a chance in hell. If anything, you get like that, the Metroid collection or
the 2D game that's supposedly been
the 2D game that has apparently been in development for 15 years at this point.
Just so far as
but like I would like to see something like that. I'd like to see Pushmo, Crashmo, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball Switch,
something small, and those they're fine. They did that the UFO game, right? They had the which apparently that's. I mean, I have the free, the free version, whatever that cheap version is on my phone, and apparently it's pretty good on the Switch. So I would like to see stuff like
Part-time UFO.
Part-time UFO, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? It's to me, it's still weird. Speaking of which, that Nintendo has not put Mario Run and and Dragalia Lost and
Dragalia Lost is the one that you kind of expect.
You expect it,
But like Mario Run, I feel like that's reaching the end of its life cycle, like Pocket Camp.
Yeah, Pocket Camp. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could see Mario Run be a part of the Nintendo Switch Online. Like for instance, like, hey guys, we're gonna release Super Mario Run, Nintendo Switch Online.
They're gonna pull Mario 35 off.
Yeah, there you go. That's
replace it with Mario Run.
Wait, can we talk about how they changed the icon on the Switch menu?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It's just ugly, dude. It doesn't match the rest of the. It doesn't match the rest of the design.
It's completely done on purpose so that they force people who aren't Switch Online members to tap that button, the emergency escape button. Yep. And I'm getting I get notifications to that. I'm like, oh shit, what's the notification of Switch Online? And then I click it, and it just says, there's a new, or it doesn't even have any notifications. It'll just show like the Mario Run thing is or Tetris 99 has started. I'm like, oh, that's it. It's not super designed well, but I think it's big. I'm holding it right there. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
Big red.
It's so bad.
Do we see anything even vaguely Kojima at this show?
I don't think so. I think it's too early.
Because he's become sort of a part of this whole system, and to just not have because Death Stranding came out last year, so of course he was gonna fucking be there. But now there's nothing, and there's no.
See him.
There's no way for Jeff to come out and trot him out.
Well, I can see him present something. I can see him present an award.
Is it too insane to think that there's a next-gen version of Death Stranding that's going to be available at some point. Like PS5, Xbox Series X version of Death Stranding. I don't think that's too far out of the realm of possibility. It'd be an excuse to get him out there again because you have to assume that has to be at least being considered.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And with the PC version coming out, not that long ago at this point.
And really, Sony could also at the same time say, oh, by the way, here's our Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2 next-gen versions are coming out.
I feel like that's going to be the big, there will be a big corner thing of the market there of just, the next-gen version of PS4 games that haven't been announced. Like Tsushima or Last of Us Part 2.
I think we get something from... I think with Last of Us Part 2 being nominated so much, and they posted that Abby trailer...
I'm telling you,
there's something, whether it's DLC or the next-gen versions or both. It's likely going to be both.
The sad answer is it's probably going to be the multiplayer because that was sort of the thing that they always...
Could be the Abby DLC as a multiplayer.
Yeah, because that's the thing that was they always said it might come later or whatever because it was a thing in the original game. It was it wasn't good, but I feel like they would try it again. So. So you're saying no to Silent Hill's teaser trailer?
I would flip shit, but no.
Do you think we'll see Elden Ring?
No.
Only because Demon's Souls is out right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Demon's Souls being out doesn't really affect
Yeah.
that because it's not Miyazaki. So
no, it's a Souls game though, and Elden Ring is whatever. It's from software. So.
I mean, there's definitely going to be something new announced there. I just can't really figure out what it would be that would make anyone excited.
I got notes from a couple things being announced in the pre-show, but it's like indie level stuff that but nothing that's
nothing big. And there was the discourse we had in the Discord. That was where Among Us is going to be announced for console, right?
There you go.
Like that's going to be
Xbox. Yeah, it's got to be.
If it's only if it's not just this broad thing, it feels like Xbox would be the one that they would do it on, since that's the social platform.
And Microsoft is just in this mood to buy up and all the popular games. That's a good point. Yeah, Among Us on.
Yeah, there will be some sort of shocking Games Pass something.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII remake.
That coming, and they might announce it on a specific. Well, when is that 1 year runs out in March, right?
Yeah.
So they might say Final Fantasy VII comes out on Game Pass in March.
Yeah, but I guess we don't know what that not exclusivity agreement says, because they may not be able to advertise anything until that's up. So
that's a good point. Yeah. Oh God. Fortnite. I think we'll see Fortnite stuff. I think we got Kratos, but they said Master Chief's likely in because they're looking for the greatest hunters, and wouldn't be surprised if, like they said, Samus Aran would be a good one.
Yeah,
to be in there.
This game, I'm a big fan of seeing like Kratos doing some fucking dances with the.
Yeah.
With the baby Yoda hanging out at his hip because they got him as bling now and shit. Like, like I play Fortnite once every like 2 months.
I think same here. I turn it on. I'm like, what's going on? And I missed the whole Galactus thing. I missed the whole Marvel thing. So.
Well, because I know I don't play at a level or consistently enough to earn any of that, and I'm certainly not going to pay money for any of that. So what the fuck do I care if I miss a big event?
Yeah, watch it on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else could be announced.
There could be something Star Wars, all things considered. I mean, with
Mandalorian being as hot as it is.
Mandalorian as hot as it is, and Squadrons being out and done and out of there, and Fallen Order sort of at the end of its sort of lifespan at this point. It's popping up on Game Pass, and
I do wonder if we get something from Telltale. Because Telltale has been reformed, right?
That new weird Telltale that exists now, yeah.
Yep, the new weird Telltale. They've been kind of re-releasing some of the IP that they actually own. I wouldn't be surprised because for like 2 or 3 years in a row they debuted Telltale stuff.
Yeah.
I think Batman was one of the years, and like Walking Dead.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy that one time.
Guardians. So I can see something from the reformed Telltale there. We're gonna find out about the new Atari VCS. No, I'm just kidding.
It's Fast and Furious game. The sequel.
I think we'll see something from. Oh God, yeah. I actually think we'll see something from. Somebody actually asked me, they're like, "Hey, did that game ever come out? When's that game supposed to come out?" And I'm like, "It came out and it crashed, literally, like cars." I think we'll see something from Square. Only because we don't know a ton of what's coming out from them, so we could, apart from Final Fantasy 16.
I was saying a recut Final Fantasy 16 trailer.
maybe.
Same trailer, just in a little bit different order.
So we could see something from them. I'm having a hard time. I think this is the time of year where Microsoft only. I mean, I don't know if they're going to show anything from any of these new games that they announced. All they did was show logos the last time. So, and I don't think any of them are far enough along to show anything more than that. And they said they're not showing any Halo news. I don't know. I mean, Forza. Maybe they'll show Forza. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's because there is no new
Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they didn't. Did they announce Forza?
They showed Forza. They said it's just going to be called Forza Motorsport, and it's coming to Xbox Series X. They did not announce a date, but I could see them. And I know Jeff Grubb mentioned this as well, and I've heard like some similar rumblings around there that, like Forza Horizon 5, the reason they've been sort of like working the DLC a little bit right now is that for 4 is that 5 is ready to go. Literally off the line, haha, joke. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Forza Horizon 5 and
Forza Motorsport.
I'm sorry, Forza. Yeah, and then Forza Horizon 5 earlier in the year, and then Forza Motorsport at the end of the year. Like
that would be a weird added sequence for them too, man.
It would be because it would be 2 Forza Horizons in a row. But it would be interesting in that you could put out Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite at the same time and say, this is okay, you got the hardware back in November, this is the next gen gaming launch. I mean, here's the games.
I guess now that I'm thinking about like the safe bet stuff, like there will definitely be a new Deathloop trailer, right? Like that's a given. And
Tokyo, what was it, Tokyo? Ghostwire Tokyo.
Like Fall Guys season 3.
Fall Guys. They said there's gonna be Among Us map. Yeah.
I bet Uncharted movie.
Oh yeah, the trailer for the Uncharted movie. That's a good point. Yep.
That might be a big sort of thing, because it's sort of like because we know that they're like, we've got the pictures of him as Drake, and we haven't seen too much of Marky Mark as Sully outside of like that one Instagram post, but.
Do you think we'll get, Uncharted coming, 2021, and then at the very end it'll say, and the next Uncharted game is beginning production?
No, I don't think so. No. I don't think so.
Uncharted's done.
I think
probably.
I think Uncharted's got just you put a pin in it. I think it's done. There will be a PS5 Uncharted something.
It could be his daughter, right? Sorry, spoilers for the end of the thing.
Or like another spin-off of the
Lost Legacy was great.
Legacy. That was a great game, and those are characters that you could still just dive into, and still have it be sort of connected to the world that you like, but sort of by itself as well. Like just keep moving forward with them.
Yeah.
That would be.
There was that Persona trailer.
Oh yeah, that Scramble. Yeah,
that was supposed to be at the Game Awards, but it leaked.
Yeah.
So
they said December 8th is when it's going to be coming out now. That trailer.
Yeah.
So Persona 5 on PC would be a good prediction.
Yeah.
Persona 5 on Switch would be good.
Yeah. PC
or on Game Pass or something.
It will be if it goes to anything, it'll be PC.
Yeah.
I feel like the ship has sailed for the Switch version at this point. Like we'll get to
the Switch Pro.
And it's funny, and it's funny because Scramble is a sequel to 5. It takes place after the events of 5. Yep. So you're going to it's so weird. It's like the Kingdom Hearts game being on this Melody game being on the Switch, because it's like you don't get any of the more of the story. Good luck.
We're gonna get another Shin Megami Tensei trailer.
Sure.
Oh my
God. Next game.
Yeah. Just keep showing those. Don't actually say anything about the game. Just keep showing trailers until inevitably it just shows up one day.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they do announce the release date for the Shin Megami Tensei 3 in the US, right? They could probably say, or what was the they could say
Nocturne.
Yeah, Nocturne. Yeah. They could say, all right, hey guys, guess what? Nocturne is coming to the US, and it's coming next week. Nintendo does that a lot. Whenever they announce something during the Game Awards, like it's coming next week. So
what's the rumble on like a Fighter Pass character being announced at the Game Awards?
It's interesting. It's because they did that with Joker.
A
couple years ago.
Yeah,
or last year. Was it last year?
Yeah. The roadmap for Smash Brothers. The roadmap for Smash Brothers is absolutely just a mess in its head. Like I can't remember anything about how they announced any of that stuff.
I think you could be right, because the last one was it September?
Steve.
Yeah,
Steve.
Yeah. So I could see some. I could see the. I could see them announcing something. That's a good point.
Fighter Pass character.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
That sounds fun. Okay, let's pack this up. Let's call it a day. Let's go back to playing some games, because that's what we all like to do. Thank you to all of the viewers. Short attention gamer. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody. Corey.
Except for Corey.
Fuck
you, Corey. You can't just sit up here and
sit on your high horse. We'll see you all in the next episode of the SideQuest. You can find us at sidequesting.com. You can find me at Dolly Demovsky everywhere. Zach, where can we find you?
Find me at OKQuest on Twitter. Next week will be Cyberpunk news for me. So
Well, next week we're gonna be doing the drink along. So I'll get to that in a second. JJ, where can we find you?
The _double_J on Twitter and DisneyCompendium.com.
Check out Disney Compendium. It's great. And yeah, next week will be our annual drink along. So whoever can make it, join us. I will, now that I've figured this out with StreamYard and all the advances they've done. Yeah, there you go. Spelunky 2 upsets Hades for best indie game. We'll see. We'll actually make our predictions for the show, the awards, maybe earlier, right before the show starts. But I think, for those that join us, we'll live stream like off to the side in this video, so you can actually watch the stuff happening, and we'll be chatting off to the side as well. So as we do, because it's always a fun time.
Yeah,
us being dorks. So that's it. We'll see you next week on the drink along. Until then, take care, everybody. We love you. Bye.